How does the physicist encounter time? His grasping and determining of time have the character of measuring. Measuring indicates the how long and the when, the from when till when. A clock shows the time. A clock is a physical system in which an identical temporal sequence is constantly repeated, with the provision that this physical system is not subject to change through any external influence. The repetition is cyclical. Each period has an identical temporal duration. The clock provides an identical duration that constantly repeats itself, a duration to which one can always have recourse. The way in which the stretch of this duration is divided up is arbitrary. The clock measures time insofar as the stretch of the duration of an occurrence is compared with identical sequences on the clock and can thereby be numerically determined. What do we learn from the clock about time? Time is something in which a now point may be arbitrarily fixed, such that with respect to two different time points, one is earlier and the other later, and yet no now point of time is privileged over any other. As now, any now point of time is the possible earlier of a later. As later, it is the later of an earlier. This time is thoroughly uniform, homogeneous, only insofar as time is constituted as homogeneous is it measurable. Time is thus an unfurling whose stages stand in a relation of earlier and later to one another. Each earlier and later can be determined in terms of a now which, however, is itself arbitrary. If we approach an event with a clock, then the clock makes the event explicit, but more with respect to its unfolding in the now than with respect to the how much of its duration. What primarily the clock does in each case is not to indicate the how long or how much of time in its present flowing, but determine the specific fixing of the now. If I take out my watch, then the first thing I say is, now it is 9 o'clock, 30 minutes since that occurred. In 3 hours, it will be 12. What is this now? The time now as I look at my watch. Now as I do this. Now as the light here goes out, for instance. What is the now? Is the now at my disposal? Am I the now? Is every other person the now? Then time would indeed be I myself, and every other person would be time. And in our being with one another, we would be time, everyone and no one. Am I the now, or only the one who is saying this, with or without any explicit clock? Now, in the evenings, in the mornings, tonight, today. Here we hit upon a clock that human existence has always assumed, the natural clock of the alternation of day and night. What is involved in the fact that human existence has already procured a clock prior to all pocket watches and sundials? Do I dispose over the being of time? And do I also mean myself in the now? Am I myself the now, in my existence, time? Or is it ultimately time itself that procures for itself the clock in us? Augustine, in the 11th book of his Confessions, pursued the question so far as to ask whether spirit itself is time. And Augustine left the question standing at this point. To paraphrase, in you, my spirit, I measure times. You I measure as I measure time. Do not cross my path with the question, how is that? Do not mislead me into looking away from you through a false question. Do not obstruct your own path with the confusion of what may concern you yourself. In you, I say repeatedly, I measure time. The transitory things encountered bring you into a disposition which remains, while those things disappear. The disposition I measure in present existence. The disposition I measure in present existence, not the things that pass by, in order that this disposition first arise. My very finding myself disposed, I repeat, is what I measure when I measure time.